Hello everyone, welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you an update on the Chimney Peak fire, news of a terror attack in Israel, news of Wednesday's special city council meeting, a Kern County grand jury report about the sheriff's substation and jail in Mojave, a new anti-smoking law to take effect in California today. Notice that the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter is offering free kittens and cats right now. Today's KZGN Talking Points editorial, weather, sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. In an update on the Chimney Peak fire in Canyon Meadows, CAL FIRE is reporting it's contained and almost extinguished. Here's a video of the smoke plume last evening. The chimney fire was reported to the Bureau of Land Management at approximately 3:30 p.m. on June 1st in the area of Chimney Peak Campground. The Pacific Crest Trail and 9 Mile Road are now open to public use. Potable water for Pacific Trail hikers is available at Chimney Creek Campground. Initially, it was reported as a 1,000-acre fire that was spreading. Now accurate measurements have come in. A significant reduction of acreage was due to more accurate mapping and now measures 1,324 acres. It is now 95% contained. The cause of the fire is human. However, there is no report of who or if anyone has been found responsible for it. Mop-up is nearing completion and crews will continue fire line suppression repair where appropriate. The fire was transitioned to a BLM Type 3 team on June 6th. A total of 522 personnel were used to control the fire. And now news of a terror attack in Israel. 4 people were killed Wednesday in a terrorist attack when 2 gunmen opened fire in a popular gourmet market in central Tel Aviv. Israeli police said 5 other people were wounded and being treated at a hospital. Israeli police spokesman Luba Samari told USA Today the 2 alleged shooters were Palestinian cousins from Hebron. Both were apprehended. One was badly wounded and hospitalized, and the other was in custody. Security footage from the cafe shows the 2 men in black suits shooting into the crowd, as people ran or hid under the tables. Security guards are seen chasing the men as they ran from the scene. The United States condemned the horrific terrorist attack in Tel Aviv. The State Department said in a statement, "We extend our deepest condolences to the families of those killed and our hopes for a quick recovery for those wounded. These cowardly attacks against innocent civilians can never be justified." Journalist Tomeh tweeted that Palestinians were taking to the streets in Hebron to celebrate the shooting attack. The shooting is the latest in a series of Palestinian stabbings and other attacks on Israelis since the fall. During that time, 31 Israelis and 2 Americans have died, and about 200 Palestinians, mostly identified by Israel as attackers, have been killed, according to the Associated Press. In city news, Wednesday evening, the Ridgecrest City Council began taking up the 2016-17 budget. This was a special meeting of the Ridgecrest City Council to take up the budget. It started at 5 p.m. in the council chambers. It went well into the evening. The special meeting was for the purpose of presentation of an introductory overview of the draft preliminary budget for the fiscal year 16-17 and the opening budget hearing discussions. They got reports from the finance manager on all the department budgets in an overview. Then the department started their detailed presentations. Late in the evening, the council adjourned and will be continuing the budget discussion probably at next Wednesday's regular meeting. The budget will now have to move through the approval process pretty quick, as state law requires the council to approve a balanced budget by July 1st. So, probably more special meetings will occur. If you want to provide input in the city's budget, this is the time to do it. Now here's a report from the Kern County Grand Jury about the sheriff's substation and jail in Mojave. The staffing level of the substation is 1 lieutenant, 1 sergeant, 2 senior deputies, 13 deputies, 1 senior detention deputy, and 4 detention deputies, 2 male and 2 female. The substation has 6 holding cells with 14 beds that are mainly used by the courts. However, individuals taken into custody may be held for up to 96 hours before being transported to the Kern County Sheriff's Central Receiving Facility in Bakersfield. The substation provides bailiff and courtroom security for the 3 connecting Kern County Superior Courtrooms. Findings from the grand jury are as follows. On the day of the committee's visit, 22 individuals were in custody awaiting their court appearance, and 2 were awaiting transportation to Bakersfield. All holding cells are monitored via video cameras, and those that are on suicide watch are visually checked every 15 minutes until they are transported to Bakersfield. Individuals in custody are fed a snack lunch or a microwavable meal. Transportation to and from Bakersfield is provided by the Sheriff's Department by bus. Those in custody are generally kept in shackles unless they are placed into one of the small holding cells on the bus while being transported. The committee noted that there is no secured parking area for patrol cars and employee vehicles. The parking lot is open and easily accessible to anyone from the streets. The property room has no surveillance camera to monitor activities inside the room. The grand jury made these recommendations. When the budget allows, a security fence and gate be installed around the patrol car and employee parking area. They also recommend a video camera be installed in the property room and be monitored and recording per legal retention policies as soon as possible. The substation supervisor reported that the Sheriff's Department has set aside funding for next year to install a new camera and increase the recording storage. In a new anti-smoking law that takes effect in California today, California joins Hawaii and 100 other municipalities in the raise of legal age for smoking. A new law prohibiting smoking by anyone under the age of 21 goes into effect starting today. People under 21 can no longer buy or possess cigarettes or e-cigarettes or vape smoking devices. The only exemption to the new law is active duty military men and women. Their age will continue at 18. The new law continues the warning to those that may furnish cigarettes to anyone under 21. You can be found guilty of a misdemeanor if you do that. And now stores will have to be checking IDs to the age of 21. Another anti-smoking law makes it an infraction punishable by a $100 fine to smoke with a child under 18 in the car, whether the vehicle is in motion or not. Traffic officers would not be able to stop a driver for the smoking violation alone, but could tack it on to another violation such as speeding. While some have complained that the law is an example of nanny government, Oro Pisa, a cancer survivor, said that kids are basically held hostage in cars and they don't have the control that adults have. We felt that it's important that we protect them from adult smokers. Now stay with us. After the break, we'll have more news about the Second Amendment. Thanks for staying with us. Now news that the Second Amendment is under attack like never seen before in California. As we report the story, the California legislature is considering final approval of 5 anti-gun bills. None of these bills will do anything to fight crime or take guns out of the hands of people that shouldn't have them. It's time to start calling Governor Brown's office. Call there and declare that these laws are not going to do anything to stop crime. By passing prohibitions that ban items that are currently legal to own will make millions of current legal gun owners criminals. These are terrible new laws. If you agree, help spread the word to your friends and family. Start calling the governor now to voice your concerns about these new proposed laws. Encourage him to veto them. You can also call his office at 916-445-2841, or you can email him if you just go to www.govnews.ca.gov. There is a simple form to fill out and send to him. I've done it online. It's easy. Don't be silent. Act now. In news from the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter, we get this report. They have kittens, and more kittens, dozens, all colors and all sweet. Right now, adoption is free with approved application. Free adoption includes spay or neuter, current vaccines, microchip, and free health exam. The Ridgecrest Animal Shelter is located out on County Line Road. It is open 5 days per week, Tuesday through Saturday. They are open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you're looking for a new member of your family, please make the shelter your first stop. They have many great dogs and cats just waiting for a new home. I got my current dog out there and she is great. Adopt, don't shop. Together, we can save them all. The Historical Society of the Upper Mojave Desert is proud to welcome back singer-songwriter, storytelling bluesman Roy Bookbinder to the historic USO building on Tuesday, June 14th. This will be a special encore performance. He will be joined by local music favorite Ray Britt, who will precede Bookbinder at 6:45 p.m. General admission tickets are $20 per person or $35 for a couple, and they will be available at the door on the night of the performance. Doors open at 6 p.m., and they'll have a serving for hungry and thirsty music lovers at the Thrifty Snack Bar. For more information, call 760-375-8456. Now it's time for the 150th KZGN News Talking Points editorial. Here's today's topic. There are still some self-proclaimed rulers of the Republican Party trying to block Trump's nomination. Can you believe the news since the last primaries on Tuesday? There are still a few Republican elitists saying that they still need to figure a way to stop Trump's nomination. Can you believe this? And they are citing two main reasons. One, they don't like his sometimes rough language on comments. Second, they don't see him as a true conservative. Let's take those issues. His sometimes rough and blustered language, much of it now focusing on last week's criticism of a judge ruling in a civil case. And note, this is a civil case, not criminal. Criminal like Clinton's possibly going to be charged with. Anyway, Trump is mad at the judge for not dismissing the case and feels that there must be some other reason that legally he wouldn't drop the case. The reason for Trump's displeasure is this. In case you haven't heard this in the largely liberal-leaning media, the plaintiff started the case against him in the name of a certain plaintiff, which is required by law. Well, it was recently discovered that this initial plaintiff that started the case was found on video and in writing complimenting Trump University. So the attorneys decided that she was probably not a good plaintiff for the case. They asked for a hearing to drop her from the case. The judge approved dropping her from the case. However, usually when a court drops the initial main plaintiff from a civil suit, the whole case gets dropped, which is what Trump's attorneys argued for. They were denied. The attorneys for the case are huge supporters and donators to the Clinton campaigns, and have been for years. So in Trump's total confusion as to why the judge wouldn't drop the case, he surmised it must be some other or personal reasons. Possibly because he is running against Clinton. Possibly because he plans on building a wall to stop illegals coming into the U.S. illegally. Now, I don't think he should have said it the way he did, that the judge ruled that way because his parents were Mexicans. I won't make an excuse for that. However, he should have phrased it in the proper context. So now we have a Republican elitist still banging on Trump for it. The second reason they state to fight Trump is they feel Trump is not a true conservative. Well, just who do they think they are? Trump is conservative over many of the things that really matter. Things like the Second Amendment is an individual right, repealing Obamacare, getting control over illegal immigration, rebuilding the military, reducing the deficit, taking care of our veterans, stopping the influx of refugees until we have a system to screen them to stop terrorists from sneaking into the country. He wants to cancel the Iran deal. So what's their beef? It has to do with trade agreements Trump wants to renegotiate. He believes they are unfair to American workers. The elitists believe that the open trade agreements are good for the country and business. Now understand this. Of all the people running, which candidate would have the most knowledge as to how well the trade agreements are working for business and our workers? I'd have to say Trump would have to be the best insight into this issue. He is not that all the agreements have to go away and the country move to isolationism like they charge. He is saying every agreement needs to be reviewed. He has said if the agreement is found to be good for the U.S., then it stays in place. If it's not good for the U.S., then renegotiate. What's wrong with that? And then there's the final reason to stop him, and it has nothing to do with conservatism, only politics. The entrenched power players of the party believe Trump is a racist, a bigot, and not a favorite of women. They believe he can't win with that rhetoric. Well, this is mainly driven to heated fever by the liberal media. Now, here's a guy that the people have voted for with millions of votes over any other Republican in history, including Romney in the last election. And here we have a loser like Romney saying Trump will lose the election. Yeah, he's an expert on losing for sure. So Trump comes along and does things differently, and wins the nomination with more voters than ever. And these elitists think they know better how to win the election. They still don't get how mad Trump's supporters are. We are mad at the establishment. And finally, remember this election is about the Supreme Court, period. The next president already will appoint one new justice. Do we want the appointment to be a judge that interprets the Constitution as our forefathers wrote it? Or do we want a judge appointed that believes the Constitution is just a living document that needs to change in accordance with the whims of the current times, without the process required to change the Constitution? If these elitists don't get behind Trump, they are handing the Supreme Court to Clinton to approve liberal activist judges for generations to come. In conclusion, they need to get over it. Their power play is about to be crushed by we the people. Who do they think they are to ignore the will of the people? And if these people say they are the true conservatives, why would they do anything to hand the Supreme Court to Clinton? I'm Tom Whitnick, and that's what I think. I'd like to know what you think. If you have any comments about this editorial, or would like to discuss or recommend a topic, I'd like to hear from you. Please email them to info@KZGN.net. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, scattered severe thunderstorms are expected today across parts of the northern Rockies and northern plains. Additional strong to severe thunderstorms are possible across southern portions of the high plains and across parts of the upper Midwest. The main threat for severe weather shifts to the east, to Minnesota and Wisconsin Friday. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 76, Georgia at 84, Arkansas at 88, northern Texas at 88, Arizona at 94, and Los Angeles at 65. And for us locally, tonight mostly clear with a low around 73, south-southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Friday, sunny with a high near 100, south-southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 69, southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Saturday, sunny with a high near 95, south wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 65, west-southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Sunday, sunny with a high near 94, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Sunday night, mostly clear with a low around 65, west wind 5 miles per hour. And Monday, sunny with a high near 98, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
So that's the news for today. All us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay tuned for Ridgecrest Talk, coming up next. But first, here's a video of a very happy bear cooling off.